362 days is how long I've been waiting to go back to HeroesCon. HeroesCon 2024 starts today. Let's check it out. What's up, my people? Jacob here with Bone Claws Comics. Today, we're checking out one of the biggest cons on the East Coast, HeroesCon. I go to this con almost every year, and I absolutely love it. It is a true comic book convention. No celebrities, no meet and greets really with movie stars, nothing like that. 90% of the vendors are comic book vendors. The celebrity guests are comic book people, artists, creators. Chris Claremont, John Romita Jr., these are the guys you're going to see at this con. Not, Ben Affleck or a wrestler. None of these people are going to be there. It's exclusively comic book people for comic book people. I love this con. Let's go check it out. It's going to be a 2-part video, I believe. The first one's going to be a walkthrough, maybe a little bit of digging. Then, in the second part, I'm going to show you what I picked up. And let me tell you, I'm going to spend a lot of money this year. I already know. So, without further ado, let's check out this con. Alright guys, we're here at HeroesCon 2024, Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to take a little stroll through the convention center. This place is absolutely massive if you haven't been before. First up here is Darth Vader, little battle damage from Obi-Wan Kenobi series, really awesome, get up. Now this is Friday, so this is the first day of the convention. There's a lot more people here than I expected, but still not as busy as a Saturday. If you have not been to HeroesCon before, HeroesCon is absolutely massive. It's bigger than most people expect it to be. And it's honestly probably one of the best true comic book conventions in the country. And I really mean that. And what I mean by true comic book convention is the focus is comic books. You're not going to find, celebrities appearances. You're not going to find movie stars or wrestlers or nothing like that. Everything is focused on comics. The vast majority of vendors are comic book vendors. The artists and the celebrities that do come are comic book related, icons of the comic industry. Like, I think this show had Chris Claremont, John Romita Jr., a few other big names in the industry, but everything is comic book related in this show. There are a few vendors that sell, toys and cosplay materials and stuff like that, but everything is mostly all comic books. They do have this one booth here on the right. It's donation of blood. You can donate blood and you get a $50 gift card to spend in the comic convention, which is really, really cool, but it takes some time and that line can get pretty long. And with a con of this size, you're not going to go through all the booths. You're not going to see all the books that you want to see. And there's just not enough time in the weekend to do it all. There's just so much. And time is money with a con of this size. And it's just not worth it, in my opinion, to sit there for 30 minutes to an hour or longer to give blood in a convention where you're not going to have enough time as it is to see all the things that you might want to see. As you can see up here at the top, this is aisle 2300. This is the one end of the convention floor. And it starts at aisle 100. So, yeah, that's how big it is. It's quite massive. T-shirts on the right, some art here on the left. This guy's here every year. I have never bought art there because, I'm here for books mostly. And some of the creators I'm here for. But really cool stuff. Again, there's just so much to look at. It's unreal. Yeah, the convention floor goes all the way down as far as you can see in this video. On the left, you have vendors. On this aisle in particular, you have vendors to the left and right. We're going to cut through this lane here and get toward the midsection of the convention floor. Again, just so many boxes, just a sea of comic book, vendors. Really is a heaven for any comic book collector or, worms that like to dig through long boxes. This is the place for you. This is Artist Alley we're coming up on. The whole back half of the convention center floor is all artists and creators. They're doing signatures, they're doing, custom work, they're selling prints, selling their own private, comics. It's really, really awesome if you're into that kind of thing. A lot of people come here just to get signatures from their favorite comic creators. And there's, like I said, there's tons of them. Tons of them. Yeah, this guy, I thought at first he was like an old Thor. He's not. He's a Klingon. I would have said something to him in Klingon, but I don't speak Klingon. So I just kept it on moving. Again, like I said, just vendors everywhere as far as the eye can see. I can't list off all the artists and guests that were here. Just there's tons of them. And they even have media outlets, like comic media outlets, that come in and do interviews and stuff during the con. It's really cool. I'm not important enough to be invited on a panel, so I just keep on walking. I don't even talk to them because, you know, I'm a nobody. But a lot of the art in the artist alley, you know, it's really neat just to walk up and down. A lot of them are really trying to sell you stuff too, because, you know, they have to try and make money one way or another. This booth here, Mouse Guard, was really, really neat. I stopped by and talked to them at one point during the convention. And this stuff they have are really, really neat. I have never heard of Mouse Guard before. If you have, let me know in the comments. But I thought it was really cool. And of course, some of these, you know, more major, well-known comic book creators, they can get pretty long lines for these conventions. Up here on the right is a really neat thing. This is Richard and Wendy Penny, the guys who created ElfQuest. They were here, you know, selling books and doing signings. Very, very cool to see them here. I have a friend here who's really big into ElfQuest, and he got his book signed. Really, really awesome. I thought about it, but I mean, I didn't for whatever reason. And again, we're going all the way down to the end of the convention floor, and just still vendors galore, artists galore. I mean, like I said, this place is absolutely massive. We like to go every year, and it seems every year they get bigger and bigger. The Charlotte Convention Center is huge, if you can't tell, and it can expand. There's areas that haven't been expanded on yet, and they expanded a little more every year, a little bit more. And here we're going to turn left and see where they've expanded down some more, like all the way down to the end of the wall there. More vendors. It's just absolutely massive. Now, me personally, I haven't been, honestly, to a lot of big cons. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. Oh, here's a little artist thing where you can go sign up and create your own art. Really cool. But as I said, you know, I've seen a lot of, you know, YouTube videos of cons, you know, across the country, and a lot of them are really, really neat. But a lot of them are more sporadic. Like, they have a little bit of everything. You know, comics, anime, celebrities, you know, that kind of stuff. This, when I say it, is 90% focused on comic books exclusively. I mean, if it's not comic book related, you're probably not going to get a table here. I mean, there are one or two that sell toys, but a lot of the toys are comic book related. Some of the stuff, they sell trading cards, but they're going to have something to do with comics at that booth. I mean, I don't know what the rules are specifically, but the way it's set up, everything is related to comics. Everything. So if you want a convention that is true to God, comics, for comics, about comics, for comic book people, this is it. The exception being Mr. Fudge here. Mr. Fudge here on the right sells fudge, and he's here every single year. And funny enough, he's in a different spot every single year. Weird, but there it is, random fudge table. Awesome. Here's your cosplay table. You can buy your own little cosplay costumes and everything you need to build your own little cosplay costume for the cosplay contest that they have on Saturdays at this convention. Over here to the right, looking past this pile of trash, is where you would line up or queue up for the major celebrities, the John Romita Jr.'s and the Chris Claremonts. Their line can get pretty ridiculous, so they have a queue back in that corner. And over here is some more artists. Some of them are pretty big names, some of them I've never heard of, but then again, I don't claim to be any kind of expert in comic books or comic book creators, so you probably know them better than I do. This guy at the end seemed pretty popular. So, pretty cool stuff he has up there. All the CGC's table over here. Yeah, you can drop your books off and get them graded during the con. Pretty neat. Of course, submit them in general and have it shipped back to you in 2 years. And in case you missed it, Laufey was back there spinning around a little Cirque du Soleil. I think they were doing like lessons. They could teach you how to do some spinny stuff if that's what you're into. I'm not. I'm too fat for that kind of stuff. Concessions in the very back. Little media outlet booth here, doing interviews and such. Pretty neat. Scooby-Doo van in the back. Awesome. Little more cosplay outfits, more Ren Fair type materials. But last year they had a Renaissance Festival had a booth at the convention, you know, advertising for the Renaissance Fair, which we also go to that every single year because, you know, we're nerds through and through. And me being a big history buff, you know, I love that kind of stuff. See, Friday, some of these guys are still kind of setting up. It's still pretty early. And what's funny on these boxes, it says for sale, which is strange. You would think it's strange. It's a con, everything's for sale, but that's not true that I've found out. Some of these vendors, you know, I've spoken to them, they said some of these books are not for sale. They put them up there to draw people in. You know, they're more eye-catching books. Like, why would you bring it to a convention center or to a con with no intention of selling it? And they put like absorbently high prices on them, so nobody buys it unless it's like a complete ripoff. So I thought it was just strange that you would bring stuff to a con with zero intention of selling it. But you know, whatever brings people to the booth, I guess, and you sell them other stuff. But you know, whatever. Everything's, you know, for sale really if you pay enough. But I guess if you're ignorant enough to pay, you know, double the value of a book, I mean, go for it. People make money off ignorance every day. This booth in front here, they sell really cool t-shirts. Me and my wife buy t-shirts from almost every year. Pretty funny stuff. Rebel Base Comics and Toys, this is a local shop, shout out. Really nice little shop here in Charlotte. Not mine, but cool place nonetheless. And this guy here on the right, he's here every single year too. He sells books, like hardcover books, omnis and such. Really good prices too. Like, We're talking Amazon prices are lower on these, hardcover books. Really nice if he has something that you're looking for, and he has quite a bit, honestly. It's just one of those things that you don't want to buy early in the day because you're going to be lugging around those books all day long, and it's just too much. It's too much. I made that mistake this weekend too, so ended up buying a bunch of books. I had to take a trip to my car to drop them off because it was just too much to carry around. Good problems, Funny story about this vendor here on my right. I'll tell you in the later video. Lesson learned in that situation. Here's Heritage Auctions. They do have auction site vendors here too. Heritage, Comic Links, Shortbox. You can drop off your books and have them auctioned off for you and all that stuff. Really cool. Just shows you the renown of this convention. This convention is 42 years old, which is crazy. It's put on by Heroes Aren't Hard to Find, and this is their booth right here in the dead center. They must make a killing off of this convention because their comic prices have a serious convention premium attached to them. I don't even look through their booth because their books are always like crazy overpriced. But they probably make enough off of the convention alone, so they're not worried about selling a whole ton of books. And we're here back at the beginning. Yeah, so a nice little loop. And next, we're going to be hunting for some comics. Alright guys, jumping in here. While editing this video, I realized it was going to be far too long for my liking, so I decided to break it up into 2 videos for a total of 3 HeroesCon videos. So this first one's going to be just the walkthrough, showing you around the con. The second one is going to be my actual comic book hunting, and I'll meet up with a fellow YouTuber who's actually an inspiration to me, so be sure to check out that video. And then finally, the third and final HeroesCon video will be showing you guys what all I picked up. And it's a lot. I probably bought over 200 books, including a major Grail pickup for me, probably my collection's magnum opus now, so also check that out. As always, I appreciate you guys tagging along. If you liked the video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.